una. So anywhere you go in the world, whether in the Philippines, Asia, or America, or Europe, or Africa, givers always go first. Hindi na pwedeng ulahi sila. So that is the magic or the truth of life. If you are a giver, you must be the first one to do it first. Number two, givers receive a return. So mao ni siya. Ang ginasulti din niya sa Ecclesiastes 11, cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Now, we cannot understand that a little bit. Paano mailabay mo ang tinapay sa tubig? No? Tunaw na siya, di ba? O magbati na siya. But most probably the writer here, or Solomon, they say, kung ilabay mo ang seed or something useful, it will bear fruit, so that after many days you will find it again. So that is an idiomatic expression to express that kind of action. So give a serving to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. So cast your bread upon the waters. So kita, what are we doing with our blessings and the things we own? Do we cast it upon the waters? Do we give first before trying to receive from others or trying to expect anything from others? Do we always give first? And so, number 2, givers receive a return. You can only receive back if you give first. You can never receive back without giving first. Can you point to any experience in the world? Nagdawat ka nga wala kasagyatan? Hindi pwede. Nothing like that happens in the world. And number 3, the return may not be immediate. So cast your bread upon the waters. You will find it after 1 day or half day. No, it says here, many days. Dugay ang balik. So anything worthwhile that you give out, usually it will take many days or many months or sometimes years for it to bring back benefit to you. So that's life in the world. You cannot expect that when the moment you do something for someone, it will return right away. Or like making business. You invest today, let's say 500 this morning. Don't expect to receive back 1,000 in the afternoon. Diba? It will take many days, many months to receive back reward from what you invested. And so, it brings us to number 4. Giving does not keep us from misfortune. So, you give a serving to 7 and then evil ang mabalik sa imo. Verse 3, if the clouds are full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where the trees fall, there it shall lie. So never expect that every time you give something, it will always be beneficial in return immediately. Sometimes you feel wow, the thing that I gave led to my misfortune. Well, we don't really like the word misfortune. And because of the word fortune, we don't really believe in fortune. We always believe in the will of God, the blessing of God. But, for a point of expression, this is being used right now. So, when you give, it seems it does not right away give us wonderful things. And in fact, sometimes people think, okay, nag-ayo ka, then sayang ka, because you wasted something. So it's like a misfortune. But no, as we continue reading here, verse 4, he who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regrets the clouds will not reap. Well, it's just something like that, because giving does not always bring us back something good at the start, like this. Uh, Sige ka lang bantay sa hangin, so di ka na magsabo. Kaya mo, sige lang di maayong panahon, basin dili magtubo ang ako nga gisabo. If you just watch the wind and always refuse to make a decision, you will never come out of something. Even a student does that. Even if he does not feel right, he has to go to school, he has to take a course, he has to take the exams, even if he's not ready. He just keeps on. And he who regards the clouds will not weep. Ngayon ka, tig-ani na, pero maulan, hindi na lang, uwan na lang. So, pag uwan na, maulan na sad. So, he will delays the harvest, and in the end, he can not harvest anything. So this is the point here. It doesn't mean that when you give, you have no misfortunes or difficulties. Sometimes they do come, and success only comes very much later. Another thought here. The return will be in proportion to your giving. Verse 6, as I start with 5, as you do not know what is the way of the wind, or how the bones grow in the womb of her who is with child, so you do not know the works of God who makes everything. Verse 6, now in the morning sow your seed, and in the evening do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both alike will be good. So sige ka lang, delay the decision about anything important that you need to start or to do. Nothing will return to you. So the return will be in proportion to your giving. Even if it is when it's rainy or stormy and times are hard, you still return. You still invest. You still go to school. You still be kind. You still love. You still help people. So the return will go back to you in proportion to what you have given. So the secret all the time is give more, invest more, so that more will come back to you later. And then on number 7 here, as we end this passage in Ecclesiastes 11, the motive for giving is love for God. Verse 9, rejoice, O young man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and in the sight of your eyes. But know that for all this, God will bring you into judgment. So why give to the world? Why give to people around you? Why continue living, loving even if you're hated? Why? Because this is what God told us. This is the only way we could have rejoicing and joy in the world. And let God return to you whatever you have invested according to His will. And so that is the point of what I've been trying to say here. A candle gives before it receives. So you're a candle. I'm a candle. So have you received? You can only receive unless you light your light first and let the wind blow upon it, or let the difficulties of life attack the light of your candle. Just keep it burning bright, and then eventually you will receive back what you expect. Because you can never receive back if you did not light it in the first place. Now, the second point here in this first thought. the candle gives before it receives. There's a story here about a man named Boaz. You remember the man Boaz? He was the husband of a woman named Ruth. And so the story is found in the Old Testament in the book of Ruth. So you know where the book of Ruth is? That's before First Samuel. And so that's a beautiful story about this man, this Jew. Medyo laon-laon na siya, wala pasawa. Tiguwang na siya nakakuan ba? Nakaminyo. But Boaz was a rich man. He was a gentleman farmer. Dato na mangunguma. And so it happened one day that as he had harvest time, may isang babae from Moab. Nabalo siya. She was married to a Jew. And then namatay ang husband ng Jew. And then she went with her mother-in-law named Naomi back to Israel. And so Ruth, happened to see that it's harvest time, so she and her mother-in-law Naomi, they need food. So she asked her mother-in-law, please allow me to go and go to the fields of some people here in Israel and glean from their field. Now, in Ilonggo, we have that word panaghaw. I don't think one, but panaghaw, before, when they reap rice, ang ginagamit ka ng mga site, or sa Ilonggo, ang tawagan na gamay naman, kayog. Ang kayog is, ikuan mo, wala na sa hand na may, siya, hait na siya. And then, i-hold mo ang mga rice stalks, and then, i-cut mo sa kayog. Now, so it's harvest time. I remember my mother when we were very young. She taught us to work in the rice field. So sa among relative in rice field, we during harvest time, na walay klase, she ordered us to do some harvesting. Gamit ang kayong. Anyway, hard work diay. It's hard work. And kami, ako kay bata, gamay lang ang ma-harvest ko. And so, daghan ang mabilin ba na dili ma-harvest. So, mauna ang gleanings. Isaghawon na sa Ilonggo. Gleanings nga, leftover sa mga main nga mga. So, ang leftover nga mga stalks ng rice, mauna siya ang salaghawon in Ilonggo. So, those who children or those who are not actually working in the rice field, sila managhaw sila. This is what Ruth was doing. So this happened thousands of years ago. Imagine, after several thousands of years, the same principle is being done in the Philippines. I don't know today, 21st century na, I don't know, kay mura wala na karon sa nila panaghaw. No? Ang harvesting sa rice field, using machines na. And so there's nothing more left for saghaw. I-pick up mo. Pakawat ka lang. Pakawat ka lang. But anyway, the story here said, Book of Ruth, 2,000 years ago, just about 50 years ago, in our barangay in Miranda, we did still that thing, that Ruth was doing in the fields of Boaz. Okay? So, according to the story here, when the owner, Boaz, nag-abot siya sa rice fields. And the first greeting he said to his harvesters, verse 4, "The Lord be with you." And they answered him, "The Lord bless you." Why did Boaz do that? He was a unique young man, no? Idlaon na di ay. Dili na siya kayo nga young yun. Wala sawa, pero dato ba? And so, nga una yung words, "The Lord will be with you." That means he was a very godly man. And the first words that spoke according to our outline here gives a very good impression. And somebody said the first words we hear from a person often makes the most lasting impression about that person. So, what is the first words that come out from your lips when you meet a stranger, when you meet a new friend, when you meet a neighbor in the morning? Is it like Boaz who said, "The Lord be with you"? Grabe si Boaz na daw, mura pastor ba? And did that express that he was a very godly and religious man. And so, the next thought here, his relationship with God reflected how he treated people. So he was very good in treating people because he had the love of God in his heart. And so he also treated Ruth very well. When she saw a widow trying to pick up the grains, in his field, he told her, "Well, you're free to do that here." And then he secretly told the other harvesters, "Intentionally, you drop some of the things you have cut from the rice field or from the rye or from the cornfields for her." So medyo unsa na siya? Medyo sa Ilonggo na, medyo nagapalagtik siya, nag-suggest siya. Medyo may kursunada in Ilonggo. Nakursunadahan niya. You see, Ruth was very beautiful. Balo siya, but she was young and she was very beautiful. So they intentionally dropped, some cut grains there for her. And then she rejoiced, according to the story, when she went home to her mother-in-law. The mother-in-law was surprised. Daghan ang dalayo pa uli. Mura nanghalisan siya. She said, "It's because the Lord has prospered me." So, well, prospered, no? The Lord prospered. So, tinuray lang. May gamay ito nga pa, no? May crush ba? Somebody has a crush on somebody. Sa tiguang na. Na siya, ang istorya man, love story man niya, ang Book of Ruth. And so, number 3 here, Boaz was a model of kindness. In godly leaders, reaches out and welcomes those God brought into his circle of influence, even while remaining compassionate and caring toward his own. So it was an accident. Nagipadala sa Ginoo sa field ni Boaz sa kanabahay ng gwapa-gwapa. No? O si Ruth ang iyang ngalan. And so, and later on sa pagkaon, gi-invite nila siya. So nagkaon na siya together with the harvesters, and she enjoyed the experience. And of course, if you read the rest of the book of Ruth, to shorten the story, si Boaz fell in love with Ruth, and Ruth also liked Boaz. In other words, in their own way of courting, Ruth said, "Boaz, you are a relative. And in our culture, kung pariente ka ang nabalo ako, ikaw ang pariente diha, masintisado ka magminyo na ako. Kaya namatay man ang pariente mo, mabana ko." So something like that, no? So mauna din lisod panguyab, di ba? Kay nanganak prakahanay na lisod na lang na istorya, no? Wala niya sa pangutao na sulat-sulat ka pa or kuti-kuti ka pa. Wala na. Ditso na. Anyway, in any culture, any language, or any country, by different kinds of courtship. So I hope, ambot ang isang new style of courtship din sa GBC Cebu. Si Mark, sige, smile. Well, bahala ka mo dihan, no? Basta sa sakto lang and within the limits of your Christian generation. Okay na siya. So, that is the first point. A candle gives before it receives. Second, a candle loses nothing by lighting another. When you're a candle and you have a light, and then you light another candle, did you lose anything because you shared your light? Voila! You did not lose anything there. So, mauni ang point din ni, there's one verse in the Old Testament, Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 27, it's something like this year, you shall not forsake the Levite who is within your gates, for he has no part in your inheritance. At the end of every third year, you shall bring out the tithe of your product of the year and store it up within your gates. And the Levite, because he has no portion nor inheritance with you, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, who are within your gates, may come and eat and be satisfied, that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hand which you do. So this is the Jewish way of giving a part of their tithes to the Levites, to the strangers, and to the widow. So here are the thoughts that are connected with this candle. Loses nothing by lighting another. Number one, it's talk about generosity. When the candle lights another, it's showing generosity. So you are a candle. I am a candle. The Lord said in Matthew 5:16, you are the light of the world. That means you are a candle. So are you generous with the light that the Lord is giving you? So here is a point, number one. Under this, I wrote there, serve others, so help them grow and thrive. So like a candle, share your light, serve others. Are you helping someone to grow and thrive in his life? Second, solve problems. The world is full of problems. Are you a problem maker or are you a problem solver? So the Christian should always be a problem solver. You solve problems because you are a light to the world. That prevents potential goals from being reached. If you do not solve problems, problema later. But if you solve problems now, help others solve their problems, so walay problema in the future. So this is the point here. A candle loses nothing by lighting another. In other words, instead of losing nothing, you even add to blessings of others and yourself. So are you a candle lighting others? Or is your light only for yourself all the time? Ikaw, ikaw, ikaw. Imo sweldo, imo allowance, imo blessing, ako, ako, tanan. And so number three here, save causes that benefit mankind. So if you're a candle, you lose nothing by lighting another. So you light your candle and be a blessing. You will benefit mankind. So as a Christian here at GBC, are you a benefit to Mandaue because you are a believer? Your candle is helping others. In your company, in your office, in your boarding house, in your barangay, are you a benefit to mankind? So the candle loses nothing by lighting another. How many candles have you lighted this week or this month or this year? Now, another thought here is from Israel. In Israel, if they cancel debt, model graciousness and forgiveness and care for the poor. So in Israel, every 7 years, ang utang binakansol. Aba po diyan yung puyo sa Israel, no? Kung utang ka dako, billions, and then after 7 years, wala ka na utang. Well, there's a condition there. If you are also a Jew. Kung di man ka Jew. So today, I don't know if they still do that. Siguro sa mga very, very conservative Jew, I think they still do that. But I would like to go to Israel someday, maybe makatrabaho ka mo to. You could compare the present things that they do in Israel with the Bible. And so they care for the poor, and he will favor the land with abundant crops and freedom from invasion if the people are kind to one another. Trust that God was in control and let him worry about the rain, the sun, and the fruitful harvest times. So be kind to others, help them, and let God worry about your needs if you follow the Lord and you have the faith in Him. Kung planter ka, don't worry about the rain. The Lord will send the rain and the sun and the fruits. Or if you are an engineer, don't worry about other things. If you do your part in obeying the Lord, you give your tithes, offerings, serve the Lord, don't worry. You try to even help others there in your office. When you do all that, the Lord will bless you, and don't worry. And so, the final thought here, letter C, true leaders don't keep score with people. They just keep on giving. This is a difficult part of our culture. Kita ng mga Pinoy, kung sa kita, gusto kita magbawas all the time. Sa Ilonggo, we say, nagadumot kita, no? And then, kung may sayog ka na ako, maabot ang panahon, singilon ta ka. Bayaran mo ang sala sa iyo po na ako. But the Lord is saying here in the overall principles of the candle that will not lose anything by lighting another. Mauni, true Christian or the true leaders don't keep scores with people. That means, ikaw ha, may sala ka gida, bantay ka lang adlaw, kamaka-timing ganito, bayaran mo ginang utang. Ako na siya, ikaw na siya, di ba? So just keep on giving and let God keep the score. So are you like that? I am like that. We are like that because we are sinners. Maya suko ka sa uban, bantay ka lang, pinakaadlaw, bayaran mo yun. Ang gibuhat mo na ako, ha? Una-una, kung tingnan na, limot ko. So ikaw, you, and pila karon ng dumduman mo nga may sala sa imo. Until now, wala pa niyong masingil, the time will come, singilan mo. Not in terms of money, siguro, but in terms of curse or whatever, no? Later on. It happens. But for the Lord, for the Christian, wala na siya, because a Christian is a candle that loses nothing by lighting another. So final point here. So atong una, no, a candle gives before it receives. A candle loses nothing by lighting another. Number 3, and last point, a candle cannot give light when its fire dies. Ang kandila, hindi na makahatag kahiyag kung ang iya kayo makatay. So, usahay, ako na, di ba? Ang ako kayo namatay, di na ako magsunod sa Ginoo, di na ako magtuman sa Ginoo, sometimes magsuko kita ba? Mura na mahay na ta sa Ginoo, nga naman Christian pa ko. So, usawa na lang nato ni, kung mamatay na ako ng kayo, sige, patay kung patay, di ba? Muna, sometimes that's what people think. Now, we now go to the New Testament. You remember in Acts chapter 5, I mentioned that several Sundays ago about the story of Ananias and Sapphira. We do not know who they are. They are a Jewish couple during the time of the apostles. And everybody was giving to the work of the Lord. It seems sikat ka kung nahatag ka sa during the beginning or the birth of the church. So they sold everything and they gave all the money to the Lord. So sikat sila. And it happens that Ananias and Sapphira, sila magsikat sila. So they sold their property and then gihatag nila sa mga apostles ang kwarta. Pero, may pero ha, dili tanan. ang gabi pa kay ingon nila, oh, Mr. Peter, we sold our property, and this is it. We are giving it all to the Lord. But they did not tell Peter nga, ang one half to, sa bulsa na ako, gibatago ko sa bangko, or gibatago ko sa balay, under the bed. They just said nga, okay, we give this all to the Lord. So gusto sila magpasikat ba? Kaya mo ba mura nagsikat, kaya naghatag sa ilang property, sa ilang tanan niya kwarta sa church to help other Christians. And so when they saw that, they did it, but they hid something. And you know what happened, verse 3? Peter said, Ananias, mao ni ang imong gihatag? Ingon niya, yes, mao ni siya. Lukuam dia ito, gitago yung ban. And then by the Spirit, Peter said, Ananias, verse 3, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit, and keep back part of the price of the land for yourself? While it remained, it was not your own. And after it was sold, was it not in your own control? Why have you conceived this thing in your heart? You have not lied to men, but to God. Grabe yung direkta. So, verse 5, then Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and breathed his last. Natumba siya, patay. Kung saan patay sa iya? Well, it was the Holy Spirit who killed him. Just like that. It was God. So, unsa siya na heart attack? I don't really know. Basta tumba lang. O stroke. So, instant ang kamatayon niya. And they told the young man, okay, you wrap him and carry him out and bury him. Nawala kabalo ang iyang misis, si Sapphira, si Mrs. Ananias. So later on, she came in dito sa place where, and it was about 3 hours later, in verse 7, and the wife came in, not knowing what had happened. Peter answered her, tell me, you sold the land for so much? She said, yes, for so much. So again, another liar. Wala nagsugid sa tinuod. Then Peter said to her, how is it that you have agreed together to test the Spirit of the Lord? Look, the feet of those who have buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out. Then immediately she fell down at his feet and breathed her last. And the young man came in and found her dead, and carrying her out, buried her by her husband. So that is a terrible lesson on a candle that cannot give light when its fire dies out. Because they deliberately told a lie to deceive people, forgetting that God knows and sees everything. So here is final thoughts that we can put here, we can add here on Isha. One can't love without giving. You can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving. Diba? So another verse in the New Testament, 2 Corinthians 8, 12 to 15. For if there is first a willing mind, it is accepted according to what one has, and not according to what he does not have. For I do not mean that others should be eased and you burdened, but by an quality that now at this time your abundance may supply their lack, that their abundance also may supply your lack, that there may be no equality, as it is written, he who gathered much had nothing left over, and he who gathered little had no lack. Now, this is what's happened here in the story is that there are some Christians in Corinth. who were suffering, because during this time, this period when Paul wrote the letter, there was famine in some parts of Europe, and it affected Corinth. And because of that, when other Christians from other provinces of Greece heard that there was a kind of famine in that area, they gave a special offering. The churches from all over Macedonia, and they gave a special offering to send and to give to the brethren in Corinth who are hungering because of the famine that came. And what did Paul write? He said, it's not according to what they had. They had nothing, but they gave sacrificially. And so today we have this book in 2 Corinthians where Paul was talking about giving. And he was telling the story that the Christians in Macedonia gave even if they had no money. And that is the word I mentioned a while ago, generosity. They were very generous, even if they were poor and suffering, because of the love of Christ in their hearts. So, leaders can't love without giving. Paul encouraged generosity among the Corinthians by bragging about the poverty-stricken church in Macedonia, proving that liberality has nothing to do with feeling comfortable. It has having abundance or calculating what one can afford or being coerced. Effective leaders are generous with themselves. So wala sila nagulat nga naadaghan ng sobra sa ilang mga kwarta and then maghatag sila, but because somebody needed to be helped, especially brethren in the Lord. And so that is a wonderful story here about a candle cannot give light when its fire dies. So, are you like the other people here in the Old Testament? Oh, whose light was very bright, and it even became more bright. Or are you like Ananias and Sapphira, who wanted to show their light, pero deceiving light niya ito, and so it burned down, nawala siya, and they were judged. As I was reading this, I wondered, what about Ananias and Sapphira? Were they saved? Sa langit, sa nilakadlaw, nakakahan sila. Naluwas to sila. Basta na ilang sayog lang ito, mawalan ito mula sa nagtansa. All of their sacrifice ba. But does that mean that they lost their salvation? Kung tinuod doon sila ng mga Christian, I have no answer for that. But anyway, in heaven someday we'll have the answer. If we find them there, or if we do not find the answer. But all we know is it's wrong to deceive the Lord or the work of the Lord concerning giving if we are not giving sincerely. And so, a close statement I wrote here, effective leaders are generous with themselves and with others. So, do you have a heart that gives? Because you cannot love without giving. Are you a loving Christian? So if you are a loving Christian, you cannot love. Are you a faithful Christian? If you are a faithful Christian, you cannot love without giving. So, are you a burning candle that keeps on burning? In fact, your light has become bigger and bigger and bigger, and it will never die because you have learned to be generous in giving for the Lord and for His glory alone. So it's not how much you earn, how much you give as tithes, or how much you plan to become in the future. What kind of heart do you have right now? It is a heart of generosity because you have received things from the Lord. Wala kay naadiha karon nga wala nimo dawat from the Lord. So you keep on giving, knowing that If you keep on giving, the blessing will just keep on returning, and even more, and even more, and even more. And then you can give more and more, and then it will keep on returning more and more. So this is it. This completes my messages about give like a burning candle. This is a wonderful message. These are wonderful messages about stewardship. And that very important part of stewardship is giving. So are you giving? Shall we pray? Lord, thank you for this refresh our minds concerning our feeling of desire to help the work of the Lord, desire to help others. Just like people in Israel did in the Old Testament, in the New Testament. And even right now, you are blessing Israel. It's becoming one of the richest nations in the world because they have always followed what God since the Old Testament to always give to the Lord and give to others. So may He speak to us. In Jesus' name. Now we are privileged as this same Lamb of God.